new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, I am back here in the building. It's ERGJ from ERGJ Enterprise, New Black Wall Street. We're talking about tonight how to get promoted. Of course, this episode is brought to you by True Detergent. That's right, black-owned, manufactured. True Detergent, this right here is a 101-ounce bottle. You get 101 washes for $15. That means that you pay 15 cents per load. We are in the Atlanta area doing free delivery in the Atlanta area. So if you want to get a True Detergent, then you go ahead and give us a call at 678-851-2400. True Detergent, make the switch. All right, guys, so here's the deal. We started this, today was the first day we started in a book called 48 Laws of Power. And we do that at part of our book club that we do about 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock-ish, about 6 o'clock-ish. And so somebody asked me a question, said, hey, I understand this, this concept. Hey, that's what's up. We got to make our money. Hey, it's out there, man. Just, you know what I mean? That's what's up. So what's up? Dawn says she's really inspired today, or sparked her interest, and she's really ready to make our money work for us. Well, you got to get with people, right, that are doing it so that you can learn from them. Or you can go to you can go the way I went, right, which is pay a whole bunch of money to learn these concepts, you know what I'm saying? Or you can get with people, or get with a network of people that'll help you to grow by osmosis. So at any rate, what's going on, Richard? What's going on, Winston? Hey, Kenyatta, what's going on? Oh, that's what I do, man. Hey, that's what the village is for. We got to look out for each other. All right, so a question came up. So anytime you guys have questions, feel free. I mean, you know what I mean? That's where I get my content from. I get my content from the village, and I just, try to share my experience. And that's what, see, when I was growing up, I think I'm like this now because of, and it's no knock on anybody, but whenever I had questions about stuff, and it's pretty cool, I got this part too. It was always like, well, hey, go look it up. That was the answer I always got. Go look it up. Go do your research. Instead of just showing me, I would always have to go look it up. So that was cool. But I realized that there's something to sharing your experience. And so I didn't really have a whole lot of that growing up. And now that's why I'm so open, because I feel like if we share our experiences with one another, in other words, if you share your testimony, you're going to bless somebody with your testimony. So at any rate, a question came up saying, well, I understand this concept of never outshine your master, which was the first law in the 48 Laws of Power that we read this morning. And they were like, well, how do I actually use that, apply that, so I get promoted, because I continue to get passed over. And so tonight I want to talk about how you can get promoted, because it's really not that difficult. It's really not that hard to understand. So in case, let me tell you a little bit about me. I was in corporate America. I remember when I got my first good job. Well, I had a lot of good jobs. My first job, I was like, man, this is it. And I thought, oh my goodness, I hate when this happens. Got a poor connection to my wireless. Come on back. Come on back. All right, there we go. I'm back. All right, so I didn't talk that whole time. I'll start back. Anyway, I was working at this call center, like it was an intermediate job, whatever, a contract. And then I got called from a big corporation. They was like, hey, we want you to come, work for us. And I was like, man, this is one of the best companies in the world. Oh my goodness, it's happening again. I done talk Facebook Live out. I done talk Facebook Live out. I'm trying to get through this. Come on, let's go ahead and pray to the internet, guys. Because here's what happens, guys. It's the enemy, right? And you know what the enemy is? He's a prince of the air. So he's trying to interrupt us right now. He don't want you to know this information. See, I already know his tricks. He don't bother me. All right, so here's the deal. I work for a contract. I got called by a big corporation. Big corporation's like, hey, we want to come work for you. It was like, great opportunity. I was like, man, one of the biggest corporations out there, you know what I'm saying, pretty good pay or whatever. And I got hired, and I went ahead and took that job. It was a permanent job. And when I was at that job, it took me about a year before I got promoted to the next level up. And so I actually studied this. I kind of looked at this like, well, why did they choose me over the same 3-4 people that I got hired with? Why did I get promoted before them? So I'm going to share a little bit with you from my experience. Maybe it'll help you at your job. Because here's the deal. Even though I want you to work on your exit strategy from the plantation, I still want you to travel through the ranks and get as much money as you can while you're there. Now, here's the deal. Here's the reason why. Number one, I want you to make more income. Number two, I want you to get the experience of leading other people. First you're going to be a follower, then you can actually become a leader. Hey, what's going on, Darren, Aaron, Anthony? You're going to be a follower before you become a leader. So you have to learn how to follow before you can lead. And then when you elevate to the level of leader, the whole ball game changes. Because number one, you were once their peer, and now you are their boss. Whole different level of different level of things that's going on here. So here's the deal. How did I get promoted so quickly in a year over my peers? What really was the difference? And now I know that what I'm gonna say tonight is really simple, it's really easy, it's really not that difficult, but I'm gonna share a couple of things with you that keeps you from getting promoted, which keeps you getting looked over, and I'm gonna share a couple of things with you that gets people promoted and gets people to advance. Now, here's the deal. I know some people got, it's the good old boy system. They just are cool with whoever, and I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about you shining in a way that doesn't, that elevates you regardless of your situation and regardless of the circumstances, right? Because you can shine, you can get promoted anywhere. It doesn't necessarily be just at the job. You can get promoted at your nonprofit that you do. You can get promoted at the church that you attend. You can get promoted anywhere. Matter of fact, someone just got promoted in our organization. And I'm like, oh, he's like, wow, but here's number one thing. You must become an asset. You must become an asset. Too many of us are liabilities, but you have to become an asset to whatever organization you are associated with. So everybody put in the comments below, become an asset. You must become an asset. Now, how do you become an asset? How do you become more valuable to your company? How do you become more valuable to your organization? How do you become an asset where they feel like they're investing in you and you're bringing back a return? Let me repeat that again. The company is investing in you and you're bringing back a return. All right? So you got to become an asset. Now, how do you become an asset? Well, there's a couple different ways. There's tangible and intangible ways. But you must become an asset. Too many of us are liabilities. Now, what does a liability look like? A liability is someone that can't get to work on time. That's first. You can't even make it to work on time. There's no way you're going to get promoted. If you're late, you know what I'm saying, once a week, you're not going to get promoted. Just go ahead. You can do all the complaining that you want, but we already see that you can't get to work on time. That's an ethic issue. That's a character issue. You can blame it on traffic. You can blame it on the dog. You can blame it on all these excuses. But if you can't make it to work on time, you're not going to get promoted. That's number one. Got to get to work on time. Matter of fact, you can't even just really get to work on time. You got to get to work early. They say to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. Why? Because you get to work early, you can chop it up with the boss a little bit. You can actually prepare your stuff, have your computer on ready to go when it's time for you to work. So if you get to work on time, you still take 15 minutes before you actually start working. So again, we're talking about getting promoted. Now, I'm trying to get you out of the plantation, but for those that are stuck right now, you need to make more money. Here's what you got to do. You got to get to work on time. When I say on time, I mean you got to get to work early. When you get to work early, that means you are actually preparing to work so that when it's time for you to work, you're working. It's not that you get to work, then you got to prepare 15, 20 minutes, go to the lunch, go put your lunch up, go to the bathroom, do all this stuff before you are working. People see this. They're like, man, you ain't even working. Number two, and this is what I was guilty of. You got to put your phone away. You got to put your phone away. It's hard to do in today's society, right? Because you got to put your phone away. When you are at work, you are on company time, and company time is paying you to be on your phone. They don't like that. Now, some companies are changing, but I'm just talking about old school rules. You got to put your phone away. Now, here's what I did. While I was at work, it was hard for me not to be on my phone because my phone was making me more money than my job. So it was hard for me to justify me not being on my phone. But I realized that, hey, while I'm under this rule, under house rules, then what I did was I strategically said, hey, on my breaks and on my lunches, I'm going to be on my phone. On my breaks and on my lunches, that's when I was trading. That's when I was learning about the market. That's where I was doing my research. I was eating knowledge while everybody else was eating bread and pizza. Okay, so I was taking my break, and some of the people that went to work with me, they can attest to it. They see me in the lunchroom with a book or with my phone making deals, and I was still employed. Number one, you got to get to work on time. Matter of fact, you got to get to work early. Number two, you got to put your phone away. It's hard to do because we're attached to our phones, but you got to put your phone away, especially if you are in an organization, old school, your good old boy system where they haven't evolved yet to technology where you actually are able to multitask. See, millennials, we can multitask, but they think you can't multitask. And here's the funny thing. They want you to multitask, but at the same time, they don't. They want you to think outside the box, but at the same time, they don't. It's the craziest corporate game that you can play is because they really want to have control over you. All right. Number one, you got to get to work on time, or you got to get to work. Really, you got to get to work early. You need to be ready to work when the clock strikes, and you got to put your phone up. Now, here's another thing that you can do to make sure that you become more valuable. Right? You start solving problems that has nothing to do with your job. Let me repeat that again. You start solving problems that has nothing to do with your job. In other words, you're connected to people in your company or your organization that are doing stuff, and you start helping in those areas. So say, for example, this is how you can leverage it. So let's just say, for example, you're here and your boss is here or your superior is here, and you want to be your superior at some point in time, right? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to use some of your idle time. Everybody has idle time in their job. Don't act like you don't. Everybody has idle time. You're going to use some of your idle time to see what you can take off their plate. All right. And this does two things. Number one, it helps them. But then number two, it teaches you. Let me repeat that again. It helps them. Put that in the comments below. Help them, teach me. You want to find something that you can help them with that's going to teach you something. So say, for example, I'll take phone calls, right? And my boss is obviously the supervisor, and she handles, let's just say, we'll call it on call center. She handles all of the complaints from the customers or whatever. And you say, well, hey, what I like to do is I like to be able to handle some of these complaints. What is that? That's resolution management, right? So what you're doing is you're taking something off her plate or his or her plate that they don't want to do, and you're actually helping them, and you're learning resolution or conflict resolution, right? You're resolving the issue for the customer. Now you've added something to your resume, and you've also added what they call a star. Some of you guys go by the star system, which means that, okay, well, what else have you done to bring benefit to the company? Well, hey, I handled this such and such, and I was able to save the company this much money because of the skill that I learned with conflict resolution. So instead of these customers having to get all these credits back because we couldn't resolve their issue, I was able to save the company money. Now, what company doesn't want to hear that an employee who they're paying $10 an hour is saving the company money? You're thinking now, right? So what I'm saying is you want to find something that your superior is doing that you can help them with, but it's also going to teach you something. So when I was an analyst one, I was an analyst one, and basically I had to do real time, which is basically, I don't want to go to expressing what I did, but I did what they call real time, which means I just did schedules, I did all this stuff, right? But I wanted to be an analyst too, where I became a forecaster, right? I wanted to be a forecaster. I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I would ask if I could go to the forecasters meetings and give my input from a real-time perspective, because that would help them to make better decisions with their forecast. You see what I'm saying? So instead of me I was strategic in where I was placing myself so that I could become a forecaster. And forecaster was the next level up for my employment, right? So I was putting myself in their room. I was putting my opinions or my experience for what I was doing to help them become better forecasters, make better forecasts, understand our patterns and our trends. So I was helping them, but at the same time, I was learning. They would teach me to forecast. They would teach me how to use the system. They would teach me the stuff that I didn't know. So I became more valuable by helping them, and I got more value by learning something. You got that? So you want to become more valuable, and you want to get value. Don't just do something just because it's going to help somebody out. I mean, that's cool and all. That's all nice, but that's not strategic. You got to be strategic. So along with that, you want to get promoted, you got to know where you want to go. You have to know where you want to go. They do this all the time and say, you know, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? You have to know where you want to go. And you got to be dead on and say, hey, I'm in retail right now. Whatever. I hate retail. Okay, I know what I don't like. Well, where do you want to go? Well, I want to go to sales. Okay, well, if you want to go to sales, then now you got to be strategic about getting over into that arena, getting over to that area, getting into that room. How can you use what you're doing right now to be a benefit to that room over there? You got to know where you're going to go. Because if you don't want to know where you want to go and you get promoted to the manager of retail, you're still going to be miserable and you're still not going to be an asset to the company. You're going to be a liability. Why? Because you're going to be a person that's complaining. You're going to be a person that's coming to work late. You're going to be a person that's coming back from lunch late. Why? Because you don't care. You don't like what you do. You don't care, and that has an impact on you as far as doing what you know you should do. It just does. It's a mental thing. It's hard for us to see ourselves going back to work after this long life break from the place that we don't want to be for an hour. It's like, man, I just need 5 more minutes before I got to go back and deal with this mess. As much as we try to act like it don't bother us, it does. It brings on stress. That's why you got to know where you want to go. Because when you know where you want to go, you can actually strategically put yourself in position to get there. So number one, if you want to get promoted, you want to elevate, you got to get to work on time. Too many of us don't understand the impact of not coming to work on time has. And here's the deal. Ask yourself this. If you were the boss and you had to choose between 2 employees, this is what you can put in the comments below. Tell me some things that you would be looking for. You know what I'm saying? As far as promoting that next person. You see what I'm saying? It's all you got to think about is, well, if I was in somebody else's shoes, or if I had a company and I was ready to promote, I needed to fill a position. Well, what are some things that I would be looking for? What are some characteristics? What are some traits? What are some things that I've seen my employees do and I would be looking for to figure out who's going to be the best candidate? It's what you know is about 20% of what gets you promoted. Now, sometimes you get promoted just because you're the only one that know everything. And you know what I'm saying? And the time is limited. They just got to hire somebody. You end up being a bad hire anyway. But most of the time, it has less to do with what you know, but it has more to do with how you make people feel. So what am I saying? I'm saying if you really want to get promoted, you got to fix your attitude. Let me repeat that again. You got to fix your attitude. If you hate going to work, you're not going to get promoted. Now, you might hate going to work, but you can switch that up and find things that you like about the job that get you motivated to go in there and put a smile on your face. Nobody wants to work with Debbie Downers. Nobody wants people at the top of the company that's always talking bad about the company. Nobody wants people at the top of the company that are always talking about the competition and where they're going to go work next. Nobody wants that at the top of their company. You got to fix your attitude. What is it? What is the thing that you actually like about your job? And if you can just think about that, you can stop focusing on what you don't like about your job. Because here's the deal. At the end of the day, you chose where you work. Let me repeat that again. You chose your job. That's right. You was looking for a job. You got that call. You was excited. I got an interview. Finally got an interview. It's been 6 months. Yes, I got an interview. Got that interview. You went on, put in your nice dreads. You know what I'm saying? You went in there, you know what I'm saying, with the swag on. You like, I'm about to get this job. Went to the interview, whatever. Did pass with flying colors. They called you and said, hey, we want to hire you. We got this offer for you. Take it or leave it. You said, shoot, sign me up. You was excited. Called everybody. I got the job. But then what happened 6 months later? I hate my job. Isn't that crazy? I was excited. I was just waiting to work. And then now I hate my job. So the way you can shift is to start thinking about what you do like about your job. And here's the thing. Here's the one thing that I think most people do like about their job. It may not be for everybody, but I think you like the people that you work with. I think you actually like the people. Now, you might not like your boss. You might not like, you know what I'm saying, some of the heads of departments that you got to work with over here. But I'm talking about your people that you work, that's your peer group. More often than not, you like the people. Because here's the deal. When you quit a job, you don't feel bad about leaving a job. You feel bad about leaving the people that you built relationships with. Let me repeat that again. You don't feel sad or like the time is over because of the job. It's about the people that you built relationships with. So if you can just focus on, man, I like going to work because I like socializing with the people that I built relationships with. If you can just focus on that, then that'll help you get over all of the mess that you don't like so that you can fix your attitude. The one thing that I can say that got me promoted in a year over all of my peers was my attitude. I was enthusiastic. I always look to see where else I could be of service. In other words, I look for other opportunities to help other people out. I always came to work on time. I never missed a day. I hardly took vacation, which is bad on me. But you know, you want to take vacation, you want to take breaks. But I learned from that. But out of my year there, before I got promoted, I was probably only out of work one day because of a car thing, right? I communicated, right? I would follow the protocol and call or whatever, let them know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So they saw a guy that had a good attitude, that was excited about the company, right? Because I was representing a brand, and I was bringing value to multiple departments, and I could quantify the value that I was making, right? I could tell them exactly, I did this, and this is what happened. I went over here and I trained these people, and now because they got trained, we have this department that's up and running. I could explain the value that I was bringing to the organization. Can you? Can you literally right now explain the value, not the value that you think you're bringing? I'm talking about the value that the company can see in you as being an asset. Or are you a liability? Are you a person that the company is just paying because you're an extra body? Or are you a person that the company is investing in because you bring value to the company itself? You are an added value. You are almost irreplaceable. Like they would miss you if you were gone. Or is it the opposite? You see what I'm saying? So if you want to play this game, this corporate game, and you want to maximize it while you're there, then you got to learn how to make yourself, you have to become an asset to the company. And when I say the company, it's kind of three levels, right? Because you got your immediate supervisor, they got to see you as an asset. But then you got the supervisor above him, they got to see you as an asset. Because it's that person that really makes the decision on who that person hires. You see what I'm saying? They go into these little meetings, they talk about all the employees before they go outside and try to hire somebody. And they say, well, who's an asset to us? Who can we promote that's an asset? That is an ambassador for our company. One other thing that you can do, and this is what you probably like to do anyway, is you volunteer. You show them that you're going to represent them, the company, at these volunteer events. That's big because that's community. And the community sees the company. They see the company through you and the work that you do. Now, when you go volunteer, you got to work. You know what I'm saying? You got to work. Like if you are, I don't know, you're doing Thanksgiving dinner and you go and you pulling turkey. You got to go pull turkey like nobody else. They see that. I know it doesn't make, I know you're thinking, what? Yes, they see that. They see that this person from this company did all of this work for free because they love to give. Volunteer. Participate in some of your corporate Habitat for Humanity, whatever it is that the company is sponsoring, and they're going to let you go and be a part of, and you have the time to go do it, and maybe you can take your family, go do it too. Go do it. This accomplishes a couple of things. Number one, you are representing the company and you're bringing value, or you're an ambassador for the company and the community. Number two, you start to build relationships outside of the company so that if the company should ever, let you go, you've got some new relationships and they've seen your work ethic. You got to be strategic, man. You know what I'm saying? So you ask yourself, if I was a boss and I'm ready, I got this position open and I see this person that comes to work on time. Is always here, never misses a day, but hard, or maybe they call out every now and then. They miss so few days that I don't even remember the last time they wasn't at work. When they get to work, they're working. I never see them on their phone. I always see them with a positive attitude. I always see them helping out other people and bringing solutions to the problems that we have in our organization. I always see them volunteering and going out and being an ambassador for our company. Is that not a person that has brought value, has become an asset for our company? Is that not a person that we should invest in and give them the opportunity to get promoted? Because at the end of the day, this person over here can know everything that need to know about the company, but they've been sitting at the same position for forever because they haven't learned how to become an asset. They are They're a good worker, but they haven't learned to elevate themselves to the point where they get promoted because they realize that, hell, you're only going to be good at this position. You're not going to be good moving up because you're not an ambassador for the company in order to lead other people. As you get promoted, you're leading more people. And if all you can do, if you're a good person that can just work by yourself and do this job, where you're going to be stuck working by yourself, doing their job, and they're going to come to you and get your knowledge, but they'll never promote you because you haven't learned how to expand your horizons and become more of an asset to a place where you can lead other people. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to, that's just a couple quick things, because I got to start getting ready to roll out Club Millie tonight. But somebody asked me to do that, and I said, okay, well, I'll try to help you understand what I've learned as far as what helped me to get promoted. I've been promoted everywhere I go, other than the places that I decided I was going to walk away. But I'm just saying there is a method. There is a strategy. There is something that you can bring, and it's anywhere. It doesn't have to just be at your job. It can be, again, at your church. It could be, matter of fact, like I said, a guy just got promoted. He's going to be helping us out. You know what I mean? He probably don't even know what he did, but he showed himself to be an asset. And I gave him a call and said, hey, I think that you're an asset. Would you mind being, I want to promote you today. And he was like, yeah, let's get it done. So this is the deal. But you show yourself to be an asset, no matter where you go. And people are going to see you. Your light is going to shine so bright that you never have to open your mouth because they see it. It's a glow that's on you. They see it. They see it. And so you want to start you want to start letting your light shine to a position that you never have to open your mouth. You want to have such a great countenance about you that people can't wait to work with you. That makes sense. So hopefully that helped you out, especially for those that are that hate your job. You've been passed over for opportunity, and you're trying to move up that ladder so that you can get more income. That's really what it's about. You just want more money. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily want all the responsibility. You may not even necessarily like what you do or like the job or like the company that you're working for. You just saying, hey, when I look at my bank account, I need some more money. And I'm trying to help you get more money so that you can finance your own freedom. Everybody put in the comments below, finance your own freedom. So anyway, this is ERGJ from ERGJ Enterprise. Again, we're about to roll out Club Millie. We're about to roll out Club Millie in about 40 minutes. So I got to start getting prepared for that because these people are going to be blessed by this plan that we got. But again, of course, today episode is brought to you by True Detergent. That's right, black-owned, manufactured, 101-ounce bottle for $15. I mean, it's 15 cents per wash. We're in the Atlanta area doing free delivery in Atlanta. So if you want to get your bottle of True, give us a call, 678-851-2400, and I'll deliver it personally right to your door. Again, True Detergent. Make the switch. All right, guys, ERGJ from ERGJ Enterprise, New Black Wall Street. Remember this, it takes a village, but it starts with us. Let's build as we climb together.
The New Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.